Hey there, Ray from Bridge Marina here. Doing a walkthrough on this Four Winns HD5C. It's an HD5 and the C stands for being an outboard. I'm starting off on the transom on this, or on the aft sun pad, which is rather comfortable. Gotta be honest, it's a beautiful day. I mean, I'm shooting video, so this isn't the end of the world, but boy, I'd like to just be hanging out here. They did a great job on the back of these boats, or on the aft area. I mean, this is a big sun pad. The seat actually flops back and forth, but easily I could get 3 people out here. It's a nice area. I could definitely see how folks would love to sit out in the water. I've taken these things out a lot, and this is a great area to sit when you're out hanging on the water. I don't like the integrated ski tow pylon that's on the swim ladder. This is not my favorite thing, but it's something that they did on this instead of using a turbo swing or putting up a $10,000 tower. It is removable. It literally is a couple pins and this thing pops off and gets out of here. But it takes a lot of space back here that I might want to enjoy. I guess it's nice because I can walk around it and use it if I needed to. And it is nice that I can just put my tow lines on here and tow. But I do find it's in the way for me to really enjoy this, but pros and cons sometimes. Comes typical with a Four Winns swim ladder that is a deep reaching swim ladder, which they do a great job on these models of how deep these reach into the water. Again, that's reaching almost up to my chest if I were to step out of this boat, which makes it easier, for folks that aren't as agile to get in and out of the water. They also do a nice job of keeping a compartment here in the back of the boat where I can put my dock lines or my ski lines. And this is just a little pouch that drains. So when I'm bringing in my ski lines, I can throw it right here, take it off my dock lines and keep right here. And then the lines drain out so they stay dry instead of it all moist and mildewy. A tour around the back of these Four Winns would not be complete if I don't check out the trunk, which we like to call it, or our aft storage. So when I lift up this seat, I mean, this thing is just cavernous. I mean, it is a big storage area. They come with a built-in wash bucket that we can put here. I have access to my bilge pump, access to my batteries, which are right here, and just loads of storage. Easy access to my water system. I mean, there's a lot of space. I can throw a tube down here. It's just a great spot. You wouldn't think you need that much storage on a boat, but those who have boated a whole bunch always want more storage. In this boat, it's got tons. As I go inside and walk through my transom, this does have a little entry door, which is an option, which is kind of nice. Keeps the kids in or pets in. And then we'll go inside the boat and see what it's like. And so now when I come inside the aft cockpit, there's a lot of space in this boat. Again, this thing is nominally about 24 foot long, and boy, it feels it. The aft cockpit is just loaded with space. Again, back to I'm about 6 feet tall, and there's enough space back here, easy for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, maybe a second, but definitely 5 plus my 2, my captain and co-captain's chair. And the seats sit high, and when I sit back here, one of the interesting feelings is like I feel safe and secure because the gunnels are high on this boat, being it's 24 feet. It's built a little bit bigger, so I feel very comfortable in here. All the cushions are hitting me high in the back, like I feel like a lot of support. And it's that right texture. This one's a little bit more plush than some of the smaller boats, but not too plush that I'm worried about damaging my seats or that I can't spill something on them. Done a great job with the upholstery on these boats. Nice little storage nooks underneath for cup holders. We'll go through all the storage underneath the seats because there is loads of storage. And then of course, just once again, it has the right feel to it when I'm sitting back here. This feels just more of a boat, and it feels great. Storage under my seats, let me just take a peek. Yep, underneath. And of course, the neat thing is they have a standard battery switch as well as a digital relay to help control my charging of my dual batteries. And a couple other of my fuses are just really easily accessible right here under my transom storage. Got more storage under the rest of my seats. Nice little garbage pail in here in case I want to throw my garbage away. More storage here. I've got 4 large fenders in there. It's almost cavernous. And of course, I mentioned earlier that this seat does flip back and forth, which lets me use it when I'm in the interior cockpit or if I'm sitting on the aft sun pad. Let's move forward and check out our head and our helm. So I'm checking out my helm and my head on this. My head is underneath here, and it's a rather large head. Open that up. Again, we don't have it in there right now. As you can see, this has space for a removable porta potty, or you can actually put in a plumbed head on this, option for electric as well. Has its built-in sink, has a little porthole in here, light, place for your sanitary napkins, paper. it's a great spot, and it is rather large, just because everyone wants to know, how big is the head? Let's take a peek. Again, told you about my height. I don't want to get too graphic here, but just to give you an idea, again, it's enough for an adult to use this area. Wouldn't want to spend hours in here, but it does the job when you need the job to be done. And again, great space. And they've actually built it so that they've put extra space in here, so when you're sitting in there, you have a little bit more space to use the head compartment. As far as our co-captain's chair, typical fashion, when I sit in this with a bolster seat up, I'm above the windscreen. Feels pretty comfortable. Might be over the top of the rest of my guests, so I may want to, put the bolster down and join them, which when I do that, I feel integral, a part of the boat, a part of the conversation. And I'm not overwhelmed by the space here. Let me just turn around and face it. I don't even have the seat all the way back. Still have an inch or so. My knees aren't hitting. I do feel this is kind of in my face a little bit, but not too much, because I can see pretty easily over that helm. So they've done a good job with this port side co-captain's chair and a helm all integrated into this space. It's nice. Might not be for everybody, but works for me. So as I sit down, I can see I've got everything here. I've got my 6-inch Simrad display, my 2 mercury displays, which are both digital mercury gauges, which are repetitive in that they're both going to display the same information, but there are so many options within it. One can check the propulsion side, one can do the vessel side. You can monitor 2 different things of your engine, or speed and fuel burn. You can monitor a lot with these digital gauges, as well as you have your Simrad to do your GPS, as well as depth. It's a great array that keeps it simple, yet gives me access to everything. There are a fair amount of switches on here, but not that many. I can still pick them out real quick. I have my standard stereo on and off, which turns on my kicker stereo, again Bluetooth. Bilge pump nav lights. I do have some cockpit lights in this. Again, a few more features on a little bit larger of a boat. Can option out underwater lights, and then a few accessories if I decide to add extra things, say a VHF or other systems I want to put on here. I do have the room to do that. Nice helm, tilt steering as you would imagine, feel pretty comfortable. I mentioned on some of these Four Winns, the armrests are a little bit high. I mean, this works, but I would love to have something down here as well. I kind of get a little elbow comfort from the seat. It's not as much as I'd like with a digital, because this is the digital engine, and digital throttles. But I assume when I pop up here, which a lot of folks spend their life sitting in the bolster seat, this thing is in the right spot and pretty comfortable. Not perfect, but pretty darn comfortable. I've driven these boats a whole bunch, and it is pretty comfortable sitting here and having an armrest. I really wish it were there. Well, I guess if you're taller, you like it there. I don't know. Things can't be perfect. But I do feel in control here. I'm sitting up, I can see above the windscreen. I do know when you run these things down a lake, the wind actually buffets right over the top of your head, so it doesn't even bother you when the seat's up. Feels comfortable. I do feel enclosed in here. This would be great in the off season or hip seasons, that you'd stay rather warm, because you can put a bow enclosure or a bow gate in this. But it's a great helm. I like it. The other weird thing I found with this one too is they put cup holders down here. And I'm only assuming they ran out of space. It's a weird place for a cup holder, but maybe it's also because they don't want drivers having drinks nearby. Maybe Four Winns is being thoughtful. But it is odd that they have them down there. Same with I've got a 12-volt receptacle down there as well. They do have some cubbies down here, so maybe their thought is you put your phone down here and there, but I'd say that's a detraction on this. I wish it were higher up. So I got to talk about the ski locker in this boat, because it is cavernous. It's one of the neat things about Four Winns, and it's just super deep, so I can get tons of gear in here. Not only is it deep, but it also is rather long, just to give you an idea, and that I can literally put a human in here, which means I can put my wakeboards, kneeboards, skis, additional gear all in there for the day and still have more space. So Four Winns was kind enough to use all the space in this boat, or in the hull, and they built in a second ski locker, another floor sole locker here, which has some more space in here. This would be great for like your lines, water sports lines, maybe a tubing line and ski lines. Great spot, it all drains to the bilge. It's just extra built-in space, which it's great. We're getting to use all the space we have in the boat. So overall, this really is a great boat. So I don't know if you're looking to buy a new boat, get into boating, maybe join the boating club, or just learn how to boat, whatever it might be. We're here for you. Reach out, ask some questions, and we'll try to find out what's the best thing for you. So I thank you for watching. Take care.